Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Guns, Roses, and Spirituality. We have your host, Andy and Jasmine here. And today, the topic is going to be about the best ways to manifest.
The
And I'm
best way.
super,
One
best
way.
ways. And I'm super excited about this because I think it's going to be a take that most isn't too widely talked about. Um, let's go ahead.
Well, let me ask you, like, when you think of traditionally, when you think of manifesting, what do you think of?
I think the first things that come to mind is being in a receiving mode. So
Damn,
the
that's not
mix,
what I was hoping you were.
but for me, it's more like having hope, but not expectation.
Okay.
Like you're having that nice, good feeling, but like you're still okay at this moment. Like
Okay.
it's not just like, yeah, it's not like this huge desire. Cause like it's almost, it kind of reminds me of like, when you have a crush on someone, like the more you're obsessed with them, like the further away they seem. But like as soon as you don't care about them, suddenly
Right.
they're like,
Right.
talking to you or like you're having these
Yeah.
attractions. Yeah.
Literally been using that analogy in my coaching session. Like I
Oh,
literally
nice.
been using that exact damn analogy. But
Hey.
anyways, I asked you that question because I was
Mhm.
hoping you would say something like visualization and affirmations and scripting and like
Yeah.
stuff like that, because that's what traditionally people think, because
Yeah.
they think that they need to spend all this damn time, like 3 months of time visualizing so they can communicate with the universe
Mhm.
that they have this desire to, I don't know, find a soulmate or whatever
Yeah.
your desire is, right? But when in reality, like the moment you are even aware that you have a desire, like the moment you're even aware that you're wanting a soulmate or whatever, it's already um the universe been know about this desire, and it's already flowing its way to you unless you're cutting it off, right? So um what Jasmine said about receiving, though, like that's exactly what I was going to talk about, which is most people think it's about creating, like manifesting is about creating, but the creating process is already done. Like the truth is, it's about receiving. It's about being in a receiving mode. It's about being high vibrational, and receiving your manifestations. And um, so, Jasmine, how do you get in the receiving mode?
So for me, I'll pick an example now of like something that I know I want to manifest, and that's a beach house. So I visualize it completely. I don't know the location yet, and that's something else that I want to be in the receiving mode for, to find that nice location. But I literally picture myself to be in the receiving mode. I'll literally picture myself like, let's say I'm in the living room of this beautiful beach house. Like I imagine smelling the ocean. I imagine like the furniture I want to have, just like the vibes. And like I naturally start feeling good once I put myself in that position. Like it's almost hard not to. Like you almost like start smiling a little bit too with your eyes closed. And for me, once I have that feeling, that really good feeling and being more high vibrational, that's when I specifically say in my mind, like, I want this beach house. I want to feel relaxed and comfortable and have an amazing home. And then I just let it go after that.
Just you don't think about it again, or
I do that. So I'll do that exercise kind of like whenever I do remember about it. But I do try when I do actually wake up in the mornings and meditate and kind of go through like a gratitude meditation. That's when I do love doing those types of manifestation thinking.
right after your morning meditation and you practice
Yeah.
gratitude and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's honestly the best time, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and just as long as if you are visualizing, just make sure if you're doing it because you enjoy it itself, like you enjoy the visualization itself. It brings you pleasure and joy in of itself, versus like, okay, I have to visualize because I want to achieve a certain result. Um, so you have to, anyways, you have to enjoy the affirmations, visualization, whatever you're doing stuff. But so that's great. But so yeah, so that's like pretty traditional. That's pretty traditional in the way of manifesting. So for me, I just basically completely stop trying to manifest anything, unless I I feel inspired and or it feels good to just think about it directly. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I just want to like spend. I don't know, like I'm just chilling out. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna close my eyes and it will be actually pretty fun to, visualize myself, like in my dream home, or visualize myself, being rich, or having in my dream relationship, or whatever. Um, but it has to like feel good. Like that itself has to feel good. Like you should get the joy from visualizing in of itself, or else don't even do it. Um, but I really only spend like 10-20% of my time, not time, but like of my practice doing that. Like I feel like 90% of what I do is just to continue just practicing appreciation and raising my vibration. Because if you think about it, this is the way I think about it. So let's say I spend 4 minutes a day practicing appreciation, and another 4 minutes a day visualizing. So that's obviously, let's just say like that's 8 minutes a day. So look, this is not like an exact statement. This is just like some math. It's not this rigid, um, but like the way I think of it is, so that extra 4 minutes that like that I am spending on visualizing uh, specific things I want is great, but those same 4 minutes could just be spent practicing appreciation as well. So basically, what I'm saying is, it doesn't even matter what thoughts you think. Um, as long as it feels good, it raises your vibration. It helps you feel even better, and when you do that, it allows you to attract everything you want, anyways. So the way I think of it, spending extra time practicing appreciation is no different, if not better, than spending that same 4 minutes visualizing a specific subject.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but either way is fine. But all I'm saying is, for for most people, especially beginners, we have a lot of negative momentum on these subjects already. On the subject of money, for example, we have a lot of negative momentum on it. So a lot of times when we try to visualize on these topics, we're activating negative energy by accident.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, because I did want to just give folks an example of, like, so when you said earlier, like, only visualize your desires like if it feels good.
Yeah.
And so one way I think about that is, like, let's say, and for me, I think this is why positive affirmations don't necessarily work for me. And I kind of realized why recently. So, like, let's say, like, I have a I have an affirmation. I'm a billionaire. Even like my subconscious mind is gonna look at my bank account and say, like, dude, you're not a billionaire. And like I feel like, for some, or like, for example, if I want to say, like, I'm happily married, maybe I'm single AF. And so, like, I feel like the subconscious mind, like, when you say certain things like that, it doesn't necessarily feel good. It's like you're trying to train your mind, but those good feelings aren't necessarily being brought up with it.
So the way I think of it is, I don't think of it from as anything from a subconscious mind standpoint anymore, but I do see it as from a, okay, I have, just kind of like negative baggage from the past, on these subjects. So that's the way I think of it. And um, so for me, I actually do like present tense affirmations. Like I'm like, like, but the thing is, it just depends. It just really depends, because if you don't have any negative momentum on a subject, let's say it's just completely neutral. It's like you want to manifest a Nintendo Switch. And, it's something that just have no pre-existing negative experience with, right? In that situation, I would just be feeling of having a Nintendo Switch. That's okay, like right here, right now. I feel like that's better if if you don't, if you know you don't have much resistance on the subject, then affirmations in the present moment is great. But for most of us, we do have a lot of negative momentum on these big subjects that we want to manifest. You know, money and relationship. So yeah, if you say I'm a billionaire, you know, and you know, if you, and most of us, 99% of us, have negative programming about money, about what it means to be a billionaire or whatever, you know, you're not gonna feel that great.
Mhm.
Um, so that's what I have to say about that. But if this is your first day on Earth, you know, then you know, say the present tense affirmation all you want about being a billionaire, because you don't have much negative momentum. So, anyways, um, it just to kind of, you know, like I said, it just depends on if you have negative momentum on the subject. So that's like a great rule of thumb. Um, so for the most part, I just, so you know, people ask me, should I let go or visualize more, right? Like honest, if I want to manifest a certain thing, and I'm just like, it really depends, right? And I just kind of explained that just now, so I'm not going to explain it again. But um, but you know, for the most part, you have to understand that all your desires that you have is automatically um, uh, is automatically coming to you. Every single thing you desire,
Mhm.
like every single one of them. The moment you're even aware, like it's already been in your vortex. It's already been trying to come to you. So, um,
And the
uh,
universe will give so many signs too.
right, right,
Like, I think that's the coolest part. Once you have like a specific intention, even if you think about it once, you're gonna see little signs here and there related to that desire.
right,
And it's the most
right.
beautiful thing to witness.
And you'll see progressions. You see like progress within that area of life too. Progress is manifestation as well. But um, so technically, like you don't need to spend a single second visualizing any subject, like at all. Like you don't need to spend time thinking about any subjects. Technically, like if you have a desire and you never thought about it, you never offer a single positive thought or a single negative thought about it, it will come to you into your reality relatively quickly, like pretty quickly. Um, and you know that's the art of letting go.
Mhm.
Um, now, but like I said, like I'm not saying don't think specific thoughts about like about things you want to manifest. Just you know, like I said, just make sure you feel good thinking about it, and uh,
Yeah, the areas will get better.
yeah,
Like it's so subtle. So like for example, like even with like the beach house. So I started thinking about this in I think the end of August. I've
right,
had like two different coworkers tell me like they're gonna stay at a beach house for a while. Like I'll see YouTube videos about it. Like it's just randomly coming up during
yeah,
my
yeah,
day. And
right,
I'm not thinking about it. I'm not actively telling myself, like, oh my God, I want that. It's like when I do see those signs coming up,
right,
for me, it's just affirmation that it's coming to me. Like it really is. Like I'm putting that energy out there and it's the universe is just responding back to me.
right. So and a lot of that, yeah, like once you start realizing that, you become more comfortable being where you are, right, rather than
Mhm.
being in a mode of
Yeah.
where is it, where is it. But um, but yeah, like, but if you don't have negative resistance on a subject, then when you think about it more, it will bring it to you faster and with more velocity and with more positive intensity, which is great. So I just want to clear that, like, so thinking positive thoughts about your manifestations is a good thing if you don't have
Mhm.
past resistance. And like I said, like first, like Jasmine's saying, like one of the first things that you'll start noticing is these clear like coincidences and signs. That's the first things that manifest, and then ideas start coming to you, impulses start coming to you, and then next thing you know, co-creators start coming to you. People start to kind of manifest in this experience, and most of our manifestations involve other people. Most of our manifestations are co-creations because that's honestly even more juicy. We came here to play multiplayer. We didn't come here to just play single player. Um, we
I
came
love
here,
that.
we came here
Wow.
to dance and manifest. together and
Yeah.
cooperate and love each other and together, whatever. But anyways, so the whole main point of this video or this podcast video episode is to talk about being in the super attractor mode. Meaning, like I said, you don't need to focus on your manifestations. If you just kind of if you if this resonates, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm sharing it. This is not the only way, but this is what I enjoy doing, and this is what I like. So I just focus on appreciation. I just focus on continuing to feel the best I can. So just about every morning, or just whenever I feel like practicing raising my vibration, I like to calibrate myself, practice appreciation, do a thought rampage, until I kind of reach the closest that I can to a 10, like on a scale of the feelings. I just kind of like calibrate myself to at least to the highest I can. Um, and so usually that's about a 10 out of 10. And and then I just go through my day and I just go with the flow and whatever. But anyways, like I find it very powerful to spend more time appreciating rather than trying to think about specific subjects, right? So and like I said, so if you just put more appreciation into your life, if you practice it every day, or you just take it next level, you're gonna feel better and better and better and better, and you're gonna feel happier and happier and happier and happier. You're gonna feel like Super Saiyan, like literally, like that's how you feel. You're gonna feel like you're just gonna feel super good, and that's what we're reaching for. Because at the end of every single manifestation we want is because we we want to feel super good. So feel super good now. So that's the message. Feel super good now, and you will attract everything you want without even having to think about them. Because think about it. So when you are practicing appreciation on just whatever, not only are you not focusing on these things you want to manifest that you don't have. So basically, you're letting go. Not only are you letting go, you're also raising your vibration on other by focusing on other topics that aren't directly related to what you want to manifest. So it's like a win-win. So not only do you win by letting go and letting this manifest, letting what you want to manifest kind of like come to you and flow to you, you're you're expediting that by choosing just easier subjects, other subjects to appreciate, and just to really um, allow yourself to feel better and better, to feel happy, super happy, super happy. So yeah, so I think it's very important. So when you practice gratitude, appreciation, just try to practice and build some momentum. Take a few minutes, practice, and try to reach that point where you're the happiest that you can possibly feel in that moment. It's not always going to be 10 out of 10, but 10 out of 10 changes every day. Every time, like your 10 out of 10 will change. So when I say 10 out of 10, I mean your 10 out of 10 in that day.
Wow.
Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
it's not just like set numbers, because we're all, it's just 10 out of 10 for you in that day. And you'll know when you reach that place where you just feel fucking calibrated and fucking exuberant. Like, I don't even know if that's a word, but like, that's just like the word that came to me. So if you could just focus on reaching that, like, think about it. Think about it. What do we truly want? Like, what's the best thing ever? Isn't it to feel super fucking good, super high vibrational? Like, if you just kind of think about it, like, and we want everything because we want to feel alive. We want to feel in love. This is absolutely in love. But you can access that directly versus, like trying to manifest whatever and then to feel that way. Versus you can feel connected, super aligned now. So that starts with, practicing appreciation, practicing thought rampages. I have like other videos. Check out episode 44, Divine Thinking, to get an intro on that. But yeah, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And another thing is, like, I don't always kind of like I can be very sloppy with my practice to be real with everyone. Like so, but it's like once I just kind of like realize, okay, let me just calibrate, just not just on a consistent basis to the best I can feel. Um,
Mhm.
and you know, like you start to just attract more, you just start to feel that way more often, just naturally. Um, if you just calibrate consistently. And that's honestly the most rewarding feeling. It's like, you know, who cares if you have $1 million if you're feeling depressed or if it doesn't feel
Yeah.
good. So um yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you know, get I wanna maybe call this episode, I don't know, like super appreciation or something. Because that's what it is. Like just taking your appreciation next level. Because you know, like it's weird. Like I just been having this shift recently because like I realized like I was practicing appreciation, but I was kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like not just kind of like calibrating to the best I can feel. I just kind of got pretty lazy with it almost just because. Uh, but you know, once I just started to, you know, like it's not about trying. It's just kind of like realizing, okay, like just little nuances. But what we truly want, I mean, is just to be higher and higher vibrationally and move towards love, I guess. But um, so yeah, you can just do that with your thoughts. So think about that. How amazing is that? Like you don't need any external things to make you feel good. You just need to have some privacy, to be in your
Mhm.
be in a room or whatever, be in the bathroom, wherever, lock the door, sit down, just breathe, just kind of like give yourself like 10 minutes to yourself and just, you know, just think some good thoughts. Just slowly, easily ease your way into that. And this is not to take long. It could be 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. But I guess like yeah, I say this, I guess like I was literally just for a while, I literally wasn't doing any appreciation for a while, and I was still making tons of progress. Um, you know, like I've been making tons of progress, but just recently, I just noticed that when I started to just kind of, it started being super sloppy with it, and I kind of didn't realize I was being sloppy with it, and just kind of like, um, just I don't know, just be more focused with it. Um, it's been amazing. It's been awesome.
I actually had that experience just this morning. For some reason, I just like as soon as I woke up, I just thought about like everything I had to do today, and I started feeling negative, and then like just like this light bulb came. I was like, dude, you're literally making yourself feel bad by thinking this. Like
Right.
it's just like crazy. Like when you realize like how powerful our thoughts really are. And then like all I did was stretch and look outside my window. I was like, dude, it's a beautiful morning. Like what is the there's literally nothing to feel bad about in this moment right now.
That's crazy. That's like I feel like you're really good at like picking that up fast. Most people don't. Like most people like, you know, they let their thoughts spiral negatively, you know.
And I do, I mean, that does happen to me too. And I would say probably not as much anymore because and meditation's been so helpful with that. Because sometimes when I meditate too, like I just let my thoughts breathe. Like I'll just let myself think whatever,
Yeah.
but in the observer mode. And like I'm just like watching this all like come into a screen kind of. And like that's when I notice like when those negative thoughts come. So doing that in meditation has helped me like just in daily life because you're just so much more bombarded, especially like when you're talking with someone, like you don't realize like, oh, it's like if you take offense to something, like those negative feelings do start to come up and like it's just yeah, like as soon as you catch yourself, just realize that it is a negative thought and then
Yep.
you, yeah. Sometimes awareness is all you need. And you could definitely, I mean, it definitely does help to replace it with a positive thought or just like pick something you're just grateful for in that moment.
Right,
And like
right,
your energy is just gonna shift completely.
right. And it takes practice, you know, it takes practice.
Mhm.
But especially if you're a beginner, I don't like highly recommend trying to replace it with positive, but um,
Yeah, it's
when you start just observe and be present with it.
mhm,
But once you get better at it for sure, like
mhm,
you can once you get better at it, you can think, you know, try to, you know, you can focus,
mhm,
stop focusing on a negative thought, just drop it and focus on something else. But
mhm,
yeah, but I guess for beginners, like just
mhm,
just observe and be present and let go, and
mhm.
do the positive stuff later when you feel better. Okay.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, for anyone who has a question about that, it's only because if you start to just automatically try to replace negative with positive, you're going to end up ignoring the negative.
Resisting.
Yes. And which just pushes everything under the rug. And that's not what we want. Like,
Yeah.
all emotions are so useful. And we just have to be open to it. And again, in the receiving mode.
Right. Yeah, you just got to open up, and it's just like it's just when we feel negative emotions, we want to close down. We've been programmed
Mhm.
to close our hearts, close our minds. Versus if you can stay open, it'll feel like the scariest thing in the world. But if you keep your mind and your heart, your body, your consciousness open, like an open hand versus a closed fist, it'll be scary at first, but things will flow through you. Well, any last words, Jasmine?
No, I'm so glad. I swear, all of these episodes just like correlate to like what I'm kind of going through at the moment. So I'm really glad we got to talk about this.
Yeah. So the moral of this story is to get into super appreciation mode. Cause think about it. Think about like why do you want to go on vacation, right? You think about your best vacation. How do you feel? You feel super fucking high vibrational. So you can feel that. You can calibrate to that now, and you start
Yeah,
attracting more of those experiences. And as you do that, as you feel better, money, relationship, whatever the fuck you want will come to you. So
for sure.
peace.
Bye, everyone. Till next time.
Till next time.